P2B supporters are his biggest problem. P2B supporters are his greatest albatross. P2B supporters are the reason why P2B may never become president in Nigeria. P2B supporters. Any small thing you just talk about P2B online, they will attack you, they will insult you, they will call you names, they will say this, they will say that. That is his biggest problem. This obedience, that is his biggest problem. That P2B supporters. That is the reason why he may never become president in Nigeria. P2B supporters, these people, they are online. They are the worst thing to happen to Nigerians. Now, what you go to hear now, just to prepare your mind, just so you aren't going to the election season. P2B supporters. When criminals want gaslight you, they wait where you not go here. But that's why you're going to listen. That's why you're going to hear. Someone sent me a video. Okay, let me play the video.
Some Peter Obi supporters are going to be one of the reasons why Peter Obi may never be president of Nigeria. Let me explain. In 2022, one of my followers, a Nigerian, came to America for vacation with his family. And while I was on call with this man, the man said something. He said, "No, sir, comedy. I like your view on things. You are not biased. Please, who would you prefer for somebody to vote for between Bola Ahmed Tinubu and a Peter Obi?" I gave this man a breakdown of why me personally would prefer a Peter Obi to be president of Nigeria as at that time. Because this man was traveling to Nigeria the following month because he said he was going to vote. So after our discussion, the man said he was going to vote for Peter Obi. And in his household, there are 8 overall who were eligible to vote as at that time. That is 8 votes for Peter Obi. Later, he said in Nigeria before the elections, about a few weeks before the elections, he was commenting on a post in one of the Nigerian blogs for saying Bola Ahmed Tinubu is also a good candidate. They laughed on this man. This is somebody who already concluded he was going to vote for Peter Obi. Obedience. They started raining insults on this man. This man sent me a screenshot of what he said and what other obedience were telling him in the comment section upon insults. So at the end of the day, this man said for this reason, he is not going to vote for Peter Obi anymore. Because whoever he chooses to vote for in his family, that is where the family goes. That is 8 votes lost because eventually, because of those insults, voted for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, what am I trying to tell you here? During the presidential elections here in America, Trump supporters were not insulting people. Because if you are logical enough to know how elections are won, you would know that there are people even before the elections who don't know who to vote for. That is where trying to woo people comes in. That is where selling your candidate to people comes in. Even when you find people on social media saying they are not going to vote for your candidate, that is when you sell your candidate to them. That is when you tell them why your candidate is the best. But to some of you obedience, anybody that came after will be insults. At the end of the day, he lost the elections.
That's the video that was sent in my DMs, and I just have to respond because I've also been seeing the takes also on social media, especially as we're getting into the campaign season. This is one of those normal jabs that will be thrown out there that P2B supporters are insulting, P2B supporters are attacking, P2B supporters don't want them to criticize P2B, P2B supporters are this, P2B supporters are that. And it's important that we discuss about it while we're in the campaign season. Let me just answer this, my brother that just spoke right now. First of all, P2B did not lose the last elections. It is important so that we don't miscommunicate realities with what really happened. It's important for the future of our country so that not 20 years time from now, you'll be used as a reference point to say that P2B lost the last elections. Please, the last election was rigged. That's why they announced the result by 4 a.m. in the middle of the night when human beings were sleeping. That's why the IREV was switched off in the middle of the game when they started seeing the trickling of results it was a woeful beating by P2B. So please don't rewrite history now very before. It's still early. We have not reached up to 4 years yet. I won't begin to change history. That Tinubu rigged him same way to power does not mean that he won the elections. Let us be very, 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 very clear with that. So let's jump into what you talked about. And the reality at ground is that P2B supporters will never just come out and start insulting someone. Let us be frank. You will never say anywhere that P2B supporters just wake up and start insulting anybody. Even with that, let's even imagine or agree that P2B supporters are animals. Let's agree on that. How does that affect P2B as a person? You have to say that if he cannot control his supporters, he cannot control Nigeria. You must be irrational to think that a man that is in Asoro will control what I will say on social media. Does he pay me? I don't have anything from the man. I don't get anything from the man. So why should he control? In fact, that is more even reference to show that how liberal he is. He has supporters that drag him also. These are people that want a working Nigeria and they see a man that exemplifies what they want in Nigeria. A man that is free from corruption. A man that as he was dropping out as a governor, he told ICPC and EFCC to come and audit his account. Nobody has done it. No governor in the history of Nigeria has done what he did as a governor, and as he was leaving office, left over $500 million for the state. This is the money that Tinubu will steal under 2 seconds, or other governors will steal under 2 seconds. This man has done things that Nigerians have seen. A man that has conquered greed. So now, if you see Nigerians agitating for such a person, you should understand where they are coming from. They are coming from a point whereby they are tired of the kind of politicians we have seen that have occupied power for so long. This is a different man. Nobody calls him a messiah. His opponent supporters will call him a messiah, and we will say, okay, no problem. They say it's not a saint. He never said he's a saint. Even if you call him a saint, I can call him as a political saint in Nigeria. Nobody has done what he has done. These are facts, right? So you people will forget that there are actual supporters that are offline. Nowhere in history that P2B supporters offline have attacked one person physically. All you hear is verbal abuse on social media. And this verbal abuse comes from when they attack the man. His supporters will defend him because the man is a gentleman. He doesn't want problem. And because he doesn't want problem, then riff-raffs, we find it as an opportunity to attack his person. And his supporters will say no, and they will speak back, and you call them that you don't want to gaslight them that they're attacking. No P2B supporter will wake up in the morning and start attacking anybody on his behest. Let us be frank. In the other side, we have Bola Ahmed Tinubu supporters, people like Solomo that came out and openly say Iyashukudi and the rest, throwing tribal slur. We saw people died for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos. People were unalived because they voted against Labour. People were beaten because they did not look like a certain tribe in Lagos for elections. Have we forgotten these things? APC supporters were attacking people across the country. They are doing it currently as we speak in Edo State, in Akwa Ibom, across this country. APC are on ground destroying and attacking people physically. But they're not the problem. Oh. It's people that are using Twitter fingers to tweet that is the problem. You see, the hypocrisy of Nigeria is what we're going to end this year. If you as a grown-up old man or woman feel angry with P2B because a P2B supporter supported him, you should not even have a phone in the first place. If I insult you at the best of P2B and you point on P2B, you're stupid. Because P2B is in his house, he doesn't even know that you're even insulting him. Insult me back, may insult you. That's how it's meant to be. If you feel bad that people are attacking you because of what you said about the candidate, then attack the person back. How does me saying that you're a madman say, oh, he's a P2B supporter, so therefore I'll not vote P2B because Saram said I'm a madman? That means actually you're a mad person. So please let us drop this 2023 attack in 2023. 2027 we're going to an elections whereby governance is what we're going to talk about. Have Tinubu performed in the past 3 years? Absolutely no. Tinubu has been a disaster of a president. But we understand that Tinubu is not going to play politics based on performance. He's going to play politics based on division, which is divide and rule, divide across tribes. Thank God that the North that they sold the Muslim ticket has totally rejected them. So they cannot do religious politics. So they're going to do politics of tribalism, which we're going to see at an extended level, then probably regional kind of politics. Politics of religion has been exterminated. We can see that. So we have to talk about values. We have to talk about what have you brought to the table, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The answer is nothing. So therefore, you'll be judged by your performances, not by what P2B supporters said. If you're judging the next election based off what supporters on social media say, that's how you will vote. You should not even be voting in the first place. And that's why many people are against democracy. I shouldn't have equal voting rights with some people. If you are persuaded to vote for a candidate based off what his supporters are saying, not what he has said, then you shouldn't even be voting in the first place. Because politics is as important as any other decision you will make. And if your choices are based off your feelings of the supporters of the candidates, you're not meant to be making those choices. I will never ever judge the candidate. Let me say Bola Ahmed Tinubu have criminals as supporters. Look at his supporters, fraudsters, criminals, hired killers and the rest. Look at them. Militants, terrorists and the rest. I don't judge him of the candidate. I judge Bola Ahmed Tinubu of who he is. He's a disaster. That's why I reject him. And that's why any Senate just should reject him. Because he's a disaster. Not because of what one Kudus or one Waspapping said about. But no, I don't freaking care about these people. They're materialistic to the schemes of affairs in the long run. They cannot decide policies that will affect me tomorrow. Who decide policies that will affect me tomorrow is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he's a disaster. If you want to support a candidate, open up with your chest and support the candidate. Don't come and gaslight Nigerians and say, I'm not supporting Peter Obi because of supporters. That conversation should end in 2023.
One of the worst things that is happening in Nigeria, let me use Nigeria for example, to us as leaders, that nobody says no to us. If you're a governor in Nigeria, which I've been, people celebrate you to point of stupidity. Because you come to a place, somebody is telling you, oh, since you became governor, everything has changed. And you're looking, nothing has changed. You know? And they give you also of award. They call you also of name. Like you will see His Excellency. You know, you've been in school. When you talk about excellent, is after fair, good, very good, best, excellent. So his excellency means a life we can emulate. But you see somebody who is not even fair. They're calling him the excellency.